I have a quick story for you that my husband told me last night over FaceTime. He's out of town this whole week on business with his colleagues on a training seminar. And what they do is from 9 to 5, they sit in these classes. And then in the evening, they get together and socialize, go out to dinner and drinks. So last night, it being St. Patrick's Day, they went out to a restaurant that was really busy. And he said the server who came up to their table was a young woman who seemed a little distant, a little detached, and just disconnected, really. And he wanted to let her know, hey, you're going to be okay with us. No one's going to harass you here, that type of thing. And she was very businesslike and just like, okay, what can I get you? And he sort of kept an eye on her throughout the evening because he's such a loving caretaker and he wants to make sure that everyone is doing okay, and he wanted to make sure that she was not being harassed or treated badly by some of the men sitting around these tables. And at one point, she came up and was doing refills on their drinks. And he and I really are not big drinkers. He might have a cider. I might have a glass of wine once or twice a year. I really don't drink other than that. And he said to her, just to kind of give her a clue as to, I'm not hitting on you. He said, my husband and I really aren't big drinkers. And he said when he mentioned husband, her eyes lit up and she sort of leaned forward and she said, neither are me and my wife. And they made this connection. And the rest of the night, she was his best friend. And they chatted, they talked before he headed out the door with his group, and she thanked him. She said, thank you for just making things pleasant and easy, and it was so fun to meet you. And of course all of his straight colleagues, the straight guys who were hoping to make a connection to this attractive woman, once again we're saying, how do you do it? How? And he's like, she plays for my team, are you kidding? And so I just loved that story, that he found a way to make this connection, and it's a perfect illustration of what I'm always talking about doing random acts of kindness, just checking on people to make sure they're okay, or to extend a helping hand if you can. And it made the difference in this woman's night. And he wanted to make sure before they left, he said, now, please drive carefully because, there's a lot of drunks on the road. And she said, I know. And she said, I don't live far from here and my wife is waiting up for me, so I'll be fine. Um, but I just really love that. And I had to share it here. I asked his permission to tell the story. And he said, as long as I didn't name the city or the place they went, because he was so concerned, he didn't want her to be compromised in any way in the storytelling. I said, of course she won't be. I just think it's a lovely thing. So that's it. Please go out, do something nice for somebody. And thank you for showing up here. And I will see you again very soon. And until then, have yourself a beautiful day. Bye bye.